Thursday lunchtime, and that means we talk boxing. Spencer, you've got your work cut out for you today because you're alongside Peterborough United owner Darragh McAntony, and I'm looking at the messages coming in this lunchtime. Darragh McAntony, is he not just wonderful? Well, he sure is. And alongside Darragh, myself and Spencer, we have Ben Shalom, the Chief Executive of Boxer, top promoter, of course, Ben, in the world of boxing. Gentlemen, good afternoon, and you're most welcome.
How are you boys? You well?
Very good, very
See
good.
you, fellas.
Before I go any further, you love your boxing. You've been at some big fights, right, Darragh?
Mayweather, Pacquiao, all the fights. Canelo, I've been to every one of his fights the last 4 years. I did Wilder and Fury Vegas. I've done, a lot of fights.
Likes the Vegas.
I did Wembley. I
theme,
did Tyson Fury at Wembley, but I got attacked front row down there. It was quite lively at the time. Some fella tried to throw acid in my face when I was sat like, yeah. He was a traveller fella who basically was trying to get in my seat and had a row with him, and he came at me with acid and everything else. It was like, it was a mad night, but that was Wembley. It got crazy, but no, I do love the boxing.
I'll tell you what, it was a crazy night on Saturday night, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure.
It really was. It really was.
Yeah. I tell you, we will. I don't think it was as bad as that in the crowd at the weekend, but certainly on Sunday night, Frazer Clarke against Fabio Wardley. Ben, congratulations! What a night! How was it for you?
It was. I've said before, it was exhausting. It was intense. It was one of the best fights I've ever witnessed. Never mind promoted. A special night. Both guys deserve a huge amount of credit. It was an incredible card. The way that they sold the O2, the interest that it generated. This is a British title fight. Yeah. This is Frazer Clarke in his 9th fight. The numbers, everything was incredible, but then they have to deliver. They both left absolutely everything in the ring. I think both of them are still sort of trying to gather their whereabouts. It was such a serious fight. There was so much on the line. You could see neither of them would give an inch, didn't want to lose. Both of them should be so proud of themselves. And I think it's one of those fights that you almost have to take your breath after, because it shows the sport in its most brutal form, but also its most beautiful form, where both of them have just absolutely given their soul.
Okay, nobody got the win in the night, Spencer, so they'll do it again. What did you think of that decision in the end?
I thought it was the right decision.
Seriously?
Absolutely spot on that
Did you say this is going to be a draw?
Absolutely. Well, listen, no, we said it's going to go one way or the other. It could be a round one way, and it could be a draw. I looked over to Johnny Nelson. I'm going, what way are you going? Because we go, was it Wardley by a round? Was it Clarke by a round? I'm looking at Johnny. Johnny's going, I'm going all level. I'm going for the draw. And you're going, everyone's sitting there going, it's got to be a draw. Yeah. And I know they do it round by round, so you never know how it's going to come out. But you look at, just to echo what Ben said, you look at what those guys done, what they put in, what they left in the ring. I know what that's like to be in there, and they were fighting on empty from about round 5. When Frazer Clarke went over in round 5 and the bell rang, he come out, he thought this could be it now. He come back and it was like a seesaw, back and forth. It will go down in history as one of the best heavyweight British title fights of all time. I mean, because of what they done, what they left in the ring. Coming out for round 10, I thought one of them's got to go. Even when we got into round 12, I went, I'm sure this is going to end now. Where are they finding it from?
Yeah.
Like you don't realise that the dark place they have to go to find the courage to carry on.
Again? Most importantly, when do we see it again? That's got to be a trilogy now. I mean, this got to be like the money involved in this fight now.
It's the biggest fight out there for both of them.
Big time.
100%.
It's got to be pay-per-view, surely next time.
It will happen again.
Yeah.
It will happen again. I thought Frazer Clarke nicked it. Obviously, I think the point deduction for me was unfair. But then I sat back. I was gutted on the night, but I sat back the next day and I thought, you know what? Neither one deserved to lose that. What Fabio Wardley put in, he looked as though he could be finished at any time, and then a couple of seconds later, he'd be throwing a combination and be the dangerous fighter.
It was a classic.
Incredible.
Could it do, I mean, I heard Spence ask you, could it do pay-per-view next time?
I think the numbers that it generated the first time were so good that of course it can. Yeah, of course it can. It's captured the imagination of the public. There's very, very few fights where the narrative takes hold, and everyone, it's felt like the whole country was watching that on Sunday night.
And when you look at the brutality that was involved in that fight, and you look at what the guys put on the line for that, and it is prize fighting at the end of the day, and you look and you go, everyone would want to see that again. Of course it would be pay-per-view. I mean, that is value for money. Like that was edge of your seat stuff from round 1 to round 12. Rarely do you get that, especially with heavyweights.
I think you get it again. I think
I
they
do.
try again. I think you get it again. You know,
The really striking thing about it, Ben, is that it's a timely reminder, is it not, that we have not lost the value of a great British fight on British soil.
That's what fans care about. And we sat down as a team after, and you know, there's all these talks about world title eliminators and world titles and international titles. But when you sit down and study really what performs, we're looking at the top 5 viewing figures of the past 10 years on Sky. It's British fights every time that deliver.
Every time.
There's something about it. It's the narrative, but it's also the heart of the British fighters. It's what it means to them. It's what it means to the country. It's a very tribal country where fans really get involved. And you strip it all back. That's what performs. That's what fans want to see. And the amount of boxing fans that will have been created on Sunday night who haven't seen a fight like that for a very, very long time is incredible. And I think that has to be the focus for us now.
Incidentally, why was it Sunday night?
Just audiences. I think Easter Sunday, you had City Arsenal, 4 million people watching. No doubt a lot of them stayed.
It just shows you it can be done.
It was huge.
It can be done.
And obviously the bank holiday Monday and everything like that. It worked perfectly.
Yeah.
So how long do you think it will take to get them back in the ring again?
You know what? Selfishly, we were hoping to go again very quickly, but you knew straight away it's going to take some serious time. I think Fabio in particular will need to see how damaged his face is and his nose. I'd like to see it this year. I think we can be hopeful it happens this year. It won't happen in the summer. I don't think they'll be quite ready.
And financially, let me ask you this, because both of them going in, I wouldn't imagine they earned a lot of money for that fight.
Yeah.
I presume fight number 2, bigger checks are going to get written.
Yeah, and they both deserve it.
100%.
Because
that's why you do it.
That's why you do it, and they're not stealing the living. They're literally giving absolutely everything for it, and they deserve it off the back of that. Both of them do, and that's why. A day after, I'm thinking, you know what, the draw's the best result, because they both have now earned probably the biggest payday of definitely the biggest payday of their careers, something that they probably couldn't have dreamt of.
Now, Ben, you say that. There's Paul, the Manchester City fan. Spencer Oliver has more faces than a Rubik Cube. He said Wardley won by 2 rounds on Sunday night. Did you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I said. I said it was one of those fights that could have gone one way or the other. I had Wardley around maybe 2 rounds up going in there. But like you say, you're looking at it, because the rounds are so subjective, you're looking around and you're looking for, I don't know, like you're looking for security of other people. Have I read this right? Where am I going with it? When the draw was announced, you go, I'm so pleased for both fighters, because no one deserved to win it.
Right. There was no disappointment or outrage over
absolutely.
that result.
So you stand by what you said, Spencer.
Absolutely.
And incidentally, there's no shame in a comment like that. Joey Barton once said, I've got more faces than a dodecahedron, which I think is a dinosaur of some description. Ben, great having you on board. Frazer Clarke, of course, was one half of that memorable fight. Frazer is going to join us live. Producer Luke tells me about past. They all listen to this hour, and I'm delighted to say they are all listening to this hour in the world of boxing, Dara.